The devil is always in the details, and in this case, the devil is in the details of the exemptions to Trudeau's coronavirus-fighting travel ban. I read the order in council signed by the Governor General to ban travel to Canada, and this thing has holes in it the size of Roxham Road. The Canadian government, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, claims they are now prohibiting entry to Canada from non-citizens and non-permanent residents. But are they? Well, here's the order in council signed by the Governor General on the recommendation of the Health Minister, Patty Hajdu. The order in council amends Section 58 of the Quarantine Act, which now reads, any foreign national as defined in subsection 2(1) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act is prohibited from entering Canada if they arrive from a foreign country other than the United States. Hang on, so they aren't banning travel from the US despite reports to the contrary? And the rest of these exemptions and carve-outs, well, they leave a lot to be desired, and they make much of the travel ban completely ineffective. Let's look at who and what the travel ban doesn't apply to. Section 3(1), Section 2, that's the prohibition, does not apply to A, an immediate family member of a Canadian citizen or of a permanent resident as defined in subsection 2(1) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. Now, hang on for a second here. What's the definition of an immediate family member being used here? Well, it's right here. A, the spouse or common law partner of the person. B, a dependent child of the person or of the person's spouse or common law partner. C, a dependent child of a dependent child referred to in paragraph B. D, the parent or step-parent of the person's spouse or common law partner, the guardian or tutor of the person. The guardian or tutor. Now, there's another built-in exemption for illegal border crossers, cloaked in government bureaucratese in Section J. The order in council does not apply to a protected person within the meaning of subsection 95(2) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. Wonder what a protected person actually means, at least as how they're using it here. Here is the Immigration and Refugee Act. 2A, a protected person is a person on whom refugee protection is conferred under subsection 1 and whose claim or application has not subsequently been deemed to be rejected or, to be clear, rejected yet, as in someone awaiting an immigration hearing. If someone claims asylum in Canada, then that person immediately becomes a protected person until they're found not to be one, if that ever happens. Just for clarity, this is subsection 1. The person has been determined to be a convention refugee or a person in similar circumstances under a visa application and becomes a permanent resident under the visa or a temporary resident under a temporary resident permit for protection reasons. So temporary residency is granted or conferred to those illegal immigrants who cross the border illegally, then claim asylum in Canada, and who are now waiting for an Immigration and Review Board hearing to determine the validity of their claims, which, as you know, can take years. So what does this mean in practicality? Sure, this new exemption protects people from deportations, but there is more. I guess if an illegal asylum seeker from the United States, illegally in the United States, can find a way to scramble across the border somewhere, Trudeau's Welcome to Canada tweet still stands. And what Trudeau has said about closing the border to illegal migrants, well, it isn't actually true. There is an exemption carved out in the new travel ban just for them. And today, March 23rd, international flights and boats are still coming into Canada all day because even though the travel ban was announced last week and Trudeau led us all to believe it would take effect last Friday, the ban allows for flights and boats to deliver travelers to come here all day long today. the day after the order in council was signed. Just look here under sections N and O. N, a person who arrives by means of an aircraft if the scheduled arrival in Canada, according to the flight plan, is no later than the day following the day on which this order was made. So that's March 22nd. A person who arrives by means of a vessel, as defined in Section 2 of the Canada Shipping Act 2001, if the vessel departed no later than the day on which this order is made and had a scheduled destination of Canada upon its departure. And this next one, it might be the scariest exemption. There's a huge escape hatch for the government that allows them to use their own discretion to let just about anybody in they feel like into the country in the middle of this pandemic. Now, the exemption starts off great, enabling truckers to cross the border, and then, it goes bad, like everything this government does. Look at this exemption for a person or any person in a class of persons who, in the opinion of the Chief Public Health Officer appointed under subsection 6.1 of the Public Health Agency of Canada Act, does not pose a risk of significant harm to public health or will provide an essential service while in Canada. Now, that is one huge exemption in the Order in Council. For anyone under Section J, for someone who does not pose a significant harm to public health, which until just a few days ago meant anyone from Wuhan, China, because travel bans are racist and don't work, or so our health minister, Pandemic Patty Hajdu, believed at the time. Just like Trudeau's $82 billion bailout for smaller businesses that basically amounts to a major bailout to banks and loans that most struggling small businesses shut down by the government because of the coronavirus outbreak will never be able to qualify for. Trudeau's sudden come to Jesus moment on border controls is nothing but smoke and mirrors and lies and delays. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunreid. If you like the work that we do here, one of the best ways to support us is to spread awareness. Like and share this video. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and ring the little bell so you never miss a story. And if you really want to support the work we do, one of the best ways to do that is to become a subscriber to Rebel News Plus. That's what we call our premium paywalled shows here on Rebel News. To subscribe, just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe today.